Welcome to Keiser Voices, the story of success, brought to you by Keiser University Graduate School, here where the academic world meets personal triumph. Join us today as we dive into the captivating tales of success.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Keiser Voices. We're excited. We're going to keep talking about the importance of mentorship and taking another look at the Amplify program that we introduced at the flagship campus. And we're really excited for today because we have two members from the Amplify program, meaning we have a mentor and a mentee, like we spoke about previously with some of the faculty from the flagship campus who got this program up and running. So joining us today, we have Dr. Lili Finke. She's a professor at the flagship campus, as well as the owner of ExecuCoach 360. And joining us is her mentee, recent graduate from Keiser University's flagship campus, majoring in her Master's of Business Administration with the concentration in marketing, is Miss Jennifer Kasongo. And before I let you both say hi, I want to briefly mention about Jennifer's journey to this point. Jennifer is originally from Congo. She grew up there before moving to the Republic of South Africa with her family. And then she moved here in the United States and has been here since 2017, furthering her education and really aiming for her goals, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in this episode. But ladies, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Very excited to be here. Thank you, Miss Heather. Thank you for inviting us. We're psyched, aren't we, Jennifer?
You're so happy to be here. It's a pleasure, honestly.
I really want to talk about the Amplify program, but I think one of the important things to know is how you both ended up there. And so, Dr. Finke, if you don't mind starting, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because that's part of the journey and the reason why you were asked to be a mentor for the Amplify program.
Well, I have a very strong belief and a very strong supporter on helping individuals reach their next level. And we all need help. We all need help. And I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Audie Johnson. I don't know if you know Dr. Johnson. And she's like, listen, you'd be perfect for this. You've got the passion for it. And I had recently been retired. And I'm like, well, okay, this is something to give back. And I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely want to share with what I can give to help individuals get up to that next level. So one thing, Jennifer, led to another, and she's like, come on, will you be a part of it? I said, absolutely. And I had been taught at Keiser before as an adjunct. So I kind of had the feel of what was going on and what the students needed. And so that's how I all started. I started to get involved in it, was by, being asked. And I was very honored to be asked, very honored to be able to share knowledge and just help the individuals grow from where they were to where they wanted to be.
That's amazing. Jennifer, how did you end up at Keiser? And then furthermore, how did you end up in the Amplify program?
So originally I arrived here in the United States in 2017 from South Africa. I got my undergraduate degree at FAU and came to Keiser for my master's. So it's kind of a funny story because I initially started off at the Fort Lauderdale campus and ended up having to move up to the flagship campus. And it was kind of a big change for me because I lived in between both areas, but it was like a whole new experience where I had to relearn all the people, all the professors, the whole environment. So I was basically just trying to be more involved in school events and everything. And I was lucky enough to be invited to the advisory board meeting. So that is where I really learned about Amplify because Dr. Peluso was talking about it so greatly. And then she told me at the end of one of her wonderful presentations that I should consider joining it. And I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking to grow and learn as much as I can in my last year here. So that's how I learned about Amplify. And I reached out. She told me, oh, you should find out who Dr. J is. I'm like, okay. And I had no idea who Dr. Johnson was. I was just excited, like, okay, I'll figure it out. So finally, August came around and my professor, Dr. Berger, she mentioned it as well. And I just kind of threw myself into it, completely blind, not knowing what to expect or anything, but it turned out excellent.
And if I may interject, Heather, if I may interject here,
Yes, ma'am.
I had a different mentee And that mentee, something happened. I don't know if that individual decided not to do it or whatever. And so Jennifer came to me almost at the last minute.
Yes.
So it was, you got to look at that. Oh, kismet. That was meant to be. It was definitely in the stars. I will tell you, it was meant to be.
No, I definitely agree. I'm feeling that like vibe between the two of you, that you guys were probably like a match made in heaven for this program. What did you think, Jennifer, before you had your first meeting with Dr. Fink, was going to come out of having a mentor? Did you think it would, help you with that professional growth that you were looking for? Were you open to everything going into it?
I would say yes, I was open to everything going into it because I really didn't know what it meant to have a mentor. I understood that it was just someone who could help me, guide me in my professional career, but I didn't know to what extent. So in my mind, it was just, okay, she's probably, or he or she, they will probably just help me find very general jobs within my field. So of course, my master's is in business administration with a concentration in marketing. So I was just hoping they could help me narrow in a position or hone in all my ideas and desires, I guess, into one set position or even just field in general, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do after. So that's kind of just what I had in mind.
Dr. Fink, I mean, Jennifer has a fabulous personality. Like, I'm picking up on it real fast. What was that moment where you met her and it like clicked? Was it like a conversation? Was it something she had expressed to you?
It was energy instantly. It's kind of weird, but that's what it was. It was energy, and I had no expectations. I mean, I don't set expectations because then you're not disappointed. And I'm like, keep the vision clear. Being as a certified executive coach, a corporate trainer, and a life coach and career counselor, it's important not to have that when you first meet somebody that you're trying to help. And when I'm coaching executives, I always have, I call it an intake session at first. Get to know the person, get the vibe. And there's no vibe. It's like a relationship. You got to have the trust and you got to have that vibe. But with Jennifer and I'm speaking for myself there, Miss Jennifer. It was immediate. I mean, just immediate. And I have to tell you one thing that really helped, and this is a message to all who's interested in getting with a mentor, is her responses. She was very responsive. Immediately. I mean, it was like, where have you been all my life? I mean, you're offering advice to someone, to an individual. They're either going to take it or they're not. And that's with the first 48 hours, 78 hours are crucial. Hey, give me a call back. It's a test. Give me a call back when you get a minute. And then they don't call you for like a week, 2 weeks. I understand life happens. But with Miss Jennifer, it was like instant. And that to me tells me automatically that she is committed before she even started. She was in it before we even initiated our conversations.
Oh, that's amazing. That obviously speaks about Jennifer's character.
Absolutely.
Is this your first time serving as a mentor for the Amplify with Jennifer, or had you been in the program before?
No, I've been in the program before, but not as a mentor. I wanted to sit back. I was there at the beginning of it, but as on the advisory board, of course, and I just kind of sat back and I wanted to wait to see how it was going to flow. And then when Dr. J said, listen, we really could use you. And I was doing some presentations for them, like opening presentations, but I had not been matched at that point. So this was the first time that I was matched with someone, but I've mentored for years, individuals besides Amplify. But it was the first time with Amplify. And it's a great honor to be part of a program like this, to help it grow. I've always said, you call everything a pilot program. Because if you call everything a pilot program, then you can go back and you could tweak as you go. And it's getting better and better every year. They're growing. the lessons learned, what can we do differently, what can we bring in, do we need this piece or that piece? And then, it's important to get feedback from the mentees, which I push for very hard. Get the evaluations in, find out what's missing. What do they want? What are they looking for? And then you build it on that. Now, I've always said it's like planning a wedding. No one's going to know everything went wrong except for the bride. The guests will be as happy as they can be. That answers your question.
It does. I know Jennifer, she mentioned like her goal for this program was to hopefully be matched to a mentor who could help her, figure out that end goal. Were your goals for her the same as she had set for herself?
Yes, she sets the goals. My job is to give her the tools that she needs to reach that goal. And boy, did she reached them very, very quickly. I mean, it was like we identified with the top 5, and then we broke it down to the top 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it was bam, bam, bam. It was like, okay. Okay.
I had an excellent mentor.
So it's like, we can make that work. But it's also, exposing, Jennifer, to the networking part of it is critical. And Jennifer, jump in at any time when we're talking about mentoring. And, it's including her in SHRM meetings and bringing her. And I think, Jennifer, you did a lot of other networking events outside of what we did. But it's connecting them with the right people. Mentoring is pull everything you've got. Who do I know's over here that can help Jennifer? Or who do I know over here that can bring some tools that she needs? Vice versa. What can Jennifer bring to an employer that they need? It's a matching game. And it was very successful with us. I mean, I don't know what to say, Heather. I can just tell you that it worked.
It worked.
I think one of the biggest things was, especially with Lili's personality, that she helped me realize how important networking is and how important it is to put yourself out there. So that was a major part of our mentor-mentee relationship, is just putting yourself out there and going for what it is that you want. No matter how silly you look or anything like that, just have that passion and show that passion and drive.
And there were times where, Miss Jennifer's like, oh, go talk to them. Get cards out. Hey, let me tell you, Heather, she showed up with business cards, and I'm like, I'm in.
That's my type of person right there.
I'm like, I'm in, and she's very smart. She's very creative, and she'll explain to you how she got this wonderful job with the connections. So
hear about that.
Yeah.
Sure. But outside of networking, what other skills did you, get to improve upon or even build, with Dr. Finke?
I think one of the biggest things, Dr. Finke, Lili, has helped me in more ways than I can mention. It's more than just on a professional level. Just being with her throughout the past few months have been a journey of personal and professional growth. So one of the greatest things she mentioned throughout our time was mindset. So how your mindset is what matters. How you see life, what you see, how you think, it dictates everything in your life. It dictates how you receive information, how you send out information. Additionally, it's just mindset, how you think, because overall it helps you with your communication, it helps you understand people, it helps you figure out ways to solve problems. So I guess problem solving too. Communication, problem solving, just being sure with yourself is kind of just the beginning of everything. Once you know you, it helps you move forward. It helps you know other people. It helps you grow. It helps you just continue learning and just continue improving day by day. And I think that was the greatest thing I learned from Dr. Finke.
Well, you did all the work. You did all the heavy lifting. I mean, mindset shift is not easy. That's why they call it shift. Where you kind of shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. I mean, come on, we face things every day that we are fixed on. It's not easy. It's not easy for me. It's not easy for anybody. It's a commitment that you want to make a change, and you want to. Motivation is the driving force, of course. But I'm telling you, Jennifer took it all. It was like, okay, mindset shift, here we go.
I think one of the biggest things that stuck with me was your cancel.
Oh, the cancel.
So
Yes.
Lily has this thing where she basically, being positive is a great thing in your life, and it's something that'll help you grow and help you be better and just make your life easier, I guess. So she has this theory that whenever you have a negative thought pop up in your mind, just say cancel. And cancel, it will just erase that negative thought, and it'll help you move forward and change your mindset, help
Mm-hmm.
you grow in a different way, see things differently rather than being stuck to that, oh, negative, because it's really easy to be negative. It's harder to be positive, it's harder to be kind. So it's up to us to try our best to be positive, and then we'll see how much better our lives will be after that.
It is, because to be negative is, you don't have to put any work into it. Think about going to the gym. You got to go to the gym. Oh, geez, I got to get up at 6. I got to go to the gym. You don't want to do that.
Mhm.
I'd rather just stay in bed. So it's easier to be negative because you don't have anything that you have to work for. Positive,
Yeah.
you got to work at it. You
Mhm.
got to get up and go to the gym. You got to put the reps in. It's putting the
Yeah.
reps in. And so, yeah, we talked a lot about the cancel. You still have the little sticky on your monitor, put CC on your monitor. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
fabulous piece of advice. Dr. Fink, when did you feel that your support was really making a difference in Jennifer's journey?
When she really listened. I mean, I've mentored individuals before, I have this saying, and Jennifer, I know you're sick of hearing it. All I do is give you books, and all you do is eat the covers. Yeah, but give you something to read, something to take in. And it was just how quick she responded. It was like, oh my gosh, which motivated me, Heather, because as a mentor, you're putting a lot of energy. So the motivation was there because she was really up there. Her motivation level was up in the roof. And I'm like trying to match it. I'm like, man, she's like right there. I don't know what's gonna happen here, But it was great. I hope I answered your question. I kind of went off on that a little bit.
You guys are more than answering the questions that I'm throwing your way today, so it's fantastic. So Jennifer, I want to go back to what Dr. Fink alluded about where you're at now. So your goal going into this program was to hopefully be matched to a mentor who is going to support you and really help guide you into that next step after your program. So after graduating, the natural next step is to land that job, right? To work in your field. So for you, your focus was marketing. So obviously you wanted to land in a, business where you have that opportunity to work in a marketing department or marketing aspect. So did you meet your goal?
100%. 100%. I met my goal, yes.
So what are you doing? Tell us a little bit about it.
So, of course, life after graduation is always kind of like in the air. You don't really know where you're going to end up, all these job applications you're putting in, all the rejections you're receiving. It was a lot, but I persevered, which is another thing that Lily taught me, is that you got to keep trying. You can't just give up if you get met by a wall or anything. You got to keep pushing. So I kept trying, and with the connections that I was lucky enough to make, I landed a job with Palm Beach County at PalmTran. So I'm currently their marketing government affairs manager.
Congratulations. I think that's more than meeting that goal you set out. I think you were looking at entry and you're managing.
Yes, exactly. So I told her when I got the call, I probably, if I could do a backflip, I would have done a backflip. I was that excited and happy. And it's even better because this is a company where I can continue talking to Lily about everything that's happening because she worked here. So this is the connection. What brought me to PalmTran is Lily, because our first time ever meeting in person, we met at a PalmTran PT stat meeting. So that's just
That's right.
statistics meeting. So I came in here blind, nervous about meeting my mentor, just like eager to sit down through a meeting about things I had no idea about. I didn't know much about buses, anything at all. Or Pomtran, really. I knew I've taken a Pomtran bus before, but beyond that, I was completely blind. And then, 6 months later, I'm here working as their marketing government affairs manager. So I don't know. It was definitely a really happy moment to get that call and to share it with Lili. And I don't know.
Well, it was great. And we first met actually on the Zoom. Remember, they had that opening, and so we had not really met in person because I was traveling. I was doing some training. I don't know where I was, out of state. I think I was in Indiana or whatever. And so we kind of met via Zoom, and like it was kind of not really official. And so that's when I said, "What are you doing next week?" And this is what blew my mind. Well, yeah. What do you want me to do? Where can I go? I said, "Come with me to a Palm Train PT Stat team meeting." I said, yeah. And she said, "What's that?" I said, "You'll love it." I said, "I'm going to introduce you to a whole bunch of people. You're going to see the way government really works." And it's a great program to sit in and watch how the Pomtran team strategically works on their routes and the funding and all that. And she came and she sat next to me and she was so shy. She's like, I'm like, chill it out, chillax, it'll be great. And then right away I introduced her to the executive director, introduced her to key individuals there. The young lady that runs what is it? I just drew a blank. Ms. Deborah.
Yes.
Legislative Affairs. I knew it was
Legislative Affairs.
Legislative Affairs. I says, Jennifer, how do you feel about government? You want to learn? Let's go. Throw you in there. And then the rest she took on herself, and she nailed it.
How did you react when I'm going to assume, I think it's safe to assume that when she called and gave you this news, how did you react?
I was like, wow, what's next? Let's talk about our next step. I was like, look, girl, I said, I know you can do this. Because as a mentor, you got to have not only the passion, but the belief that, you're very in a delicate situation. It's like, I want it to work more than she wanted it to work, because I wanted her to get settled, and because it was unsettling. And she's right. Miss Jennifer, when she first graduated, it was like, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? That we'll figure it out, because this is a proof that networking works. But I was ecstatic. I was a little nervous, but I knew she was going to nail it. And I kept saying, Jennifer, just because you don't know something doesn't scare you. Just do it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? So what? You learn a lesson, you move on.
Yeah.
So you don't know how to do something, just do it.
Yeah. Lili's support is definitely a major factor that helped me get to where I am. Because without support, without having someone believe in you, I would have stayed that shy person. I would have stayed that, I don't want to do it because I could fail. So the support really, really helped me throughout the whole entire process.
What is that saying? What if it all works out?
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Jennifer, if you could use one word to describe this experience that you've had with the Amplify program from beginning to end, what would it be and why?
So this is a tough one to think of. I landed on the word nurturing.
Okay.
Because nurturing to me involves growth and care. And that's definitely something that I experienced throughout this whole process, from the beginning to end. It was personal growth, professional growth, and it was all accompanied by genuine care and kindness. And again, like I said earlier, that support that really anyone needs in life. So nurturing is it's a wonderful word to be using for this, because it was all around too. It wasn't just in one area and one specific thing. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I just expected to have some sort of guidance towards a career or a job, but I got guidance in all areas of life that I don't know if anyone could expect that going into the program, but it's definitely something people should think about, because it's been exceptionally beneficial for me.
And if I may interject, Heather, with that, individuals looking to get into the program, I'm serious when I say go in without any expectations. Because then you go in with a blank. a blank slate.
Mhm.
You know, you kind of don't know who you're going to be mentored with. The mentor are a little nervous too. You know, we don't know who we're going to be. You know, we do know a little bit because, you know, you have to fill out I think an application, and you have to fill out, you know, your purpose statement. Why do you want to be you want to be mentored for the Amplify program? And we look
Mhm.
at that as being part of the group that I'm in with them, is you look at that. And I mean, if you submit something that's 3 sentences, I hate to blow your bubble, but you know, and then someone submits something that's at least heartfelt and at least a page, you know, that's a good thing. You know, so go in without any expectations, but go in with some vision of where you want to be in the next 5 years. And Jennifer and I worked real closely on these goals. You know, it was like, okay, you give me 3 goals, that's great. Well, how are you going to get there?
Yep.
You know, and that's what I do. That's my niche, is working with individuals and setting their goals and objectives. But being their cheerleader, not everybody gets that.
Hmm.
You know,
That's true.
even a place of employment, you know, they might say, okay, give me your goals for the next 500 years, or, you know, 3 years or 5 years, and how are you going to accomplish that? But do they help them?
Mhm.
Some companies, yeah. Some leaders may not. It all depends. But you need that support. Just like when I coach, you know, it's a 3-person process. It's myself, it's the coach. I mean, it's myself, the coach, the coachee, the person that's being coached, and the sponsor. And the sponsor is key, because the sponsor is the one that reaches out to me and says, hey, we have an individual in the executive suite that is having some issues, maybe communicating with staff. Why? Give me specific examples. So that sponsor is the eyes and ears. Well, how is Mr. Smith doing? Oh, he's doing much better, or he's not. So it's very important. So the sponsor becomes the cheerleader for the coachee, and I become the cheerleader of the coach, the coachee, and I'm the coach. So it gets a little. You got to have some accountability there.
Mhm.
And Miss Jennifer just was accountable, and got it done. Very proud of her. Very proud of her.
So
And
I
you
don't know
can
if
be
you
here without the Amplify program.
That's true.
So we're approaching the fall launch for Amplify, which will be its 3rd year in motion, you know, helping to make a difference in student lives. And I don't know if you both have heard this or not, but we are expanding the Amplify program to take on graduate school students who are pursuing their programs 100% online. So it's moving outside of just the flagship campus. So there'll still be the flagship component for the ground students that are attending that residential campus, but we're expanding it to include the online graduate students that are literally virtually everywhere. So looking ahead to this fall launch, and it's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you both, is what's your piece of advice for those considering being a part of the program? So for Jennifer, I'd love to hear what your insights are for possible students, and Dr. Fink, I'd love to hear, because we're going to have to expand our mentee pool, and so we need more mentees, more mentors, and I'd love your insights on being a mentor and why somebody should do it. So I'm going to go with Miss Jennifer first.
So the advice that I give is to take everything in, not just what you hear from your specific mentor, but also what you hear from other mentors. Because I don't know if this will be the same for the online, the graduate school or not, but we would meet at least once a month in person at the flagship campus. And it's just a group of mentors and mentees, and everyone is just sharing their piece of advice. And you learn so much. Of course, I learned a ton from Lily, and I'm so grateful. But I've also, during the experience, I learned a lot from other mentors. So I know I've not just learned from them, but I've also been able to expand my personal network because of them, because they're all so caring and so kind. They really genuinely want to help each and every one of us be the best person that we can. So that's one of the greatest things that of Amplify that I can say is to recognize who is there for you, accept the help that they're offering, even if it's just any kind of advice, any size of advice, accept it, think about it, and apply it, or see where you can apply it in your own life, because they're dropping gems. Everything they're saying is just information that, can help you, if not right now, 2 weeks from now. it'll be something that you can apply in your own life. So I think that being open to learning and being open to knowledge and information is the biggest thing. Like Lili said, don't have expectations. Just come open, come ready, and push yourself beyond your own limits, beyond the limits that you think that you have. Because I was recently at a conference, and one of the keynote speakers said that we often are unaware of just how far we can go, how high we can reach. So don't limit yourself to what you know. Don't limit yourself to what you've experienced. Be open to be more and go further in whatever it is that you're doing.
Amazing.
That was a great quote. I heard a quote. It was, if you think you're the expert in the room, you need to move on.
Ah.
I'm like, whoa. I don't know who said that, but I'm sorry, it didn't come from me. But when you think if you know everything that's going on in that room, you need to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Go to somewhere else, because you've met your level. You're the expert. It's time to go find something else to be an expert in.
Yes, keep pushing yourself further.
I had to throw that little nugget in there.
So, Dr. Finke, what would be, your takeaway or your piece of advice or word of encouragement for other, community members like yourself who are possibly considering being a mentor for the Amplify program?
Give it all you've got and be committed. I mean, and that, I don't know how simple I can define that. It's so important, like, to have the skin in the game. You got to be in the game. If there are meetings, you need to show up to the meetings. If we're obviously going into the online learning part of it, that, if you're setting up a meeting, that to be there as a mentor, because you're representing. If the mentee shows up, the mentor's not there. I'm not saying that happens, but it can. It's just, you've got to be committed in every part of it. And I always have a saying that if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. And it's not easy. So be committed as a mentee that you are going to have some deliverables that you need to deliver to the mentor. And guess what? It's vice versa. If the mentor says, okay, let me get you that information, then I'm being held accountable that I need to get that information to Jennifer. And if I don't want to let her down. I don't want to let myself down. So it's all about being committed and believing in the program. Believe in it and drink it up. But you got to put some work into it. Like I said, nothing's easy.
That's amazing. And thank you both so much for the time. And I can see why you two were matched. And I mean, whoever did the matching did a phenomenal job putting you two together, because it's clearly been a powerful match. So thank you guys for joining and sharing your experiences.
I enjoyed it. What about you, Miss Jennifer?
I loved it. It was amazing. And I'm so grateful for it, because not only did I have a mentor for a certain amount of time, but I feel like I gained a friend, a parent, or anything else.
That's true. Actually, she met my husband. He helped her out on a few things. And so she didn't have one, yet two.
Yes, I had a whole family now.
We had kept it in the family, it was, and so, she's become, like one of our daughters here. And that's what's great. It's mentorship for life.
Yes, exactly.
Just got lucky.
That's a good way to say it.
Yes. And I want to thank Adriana. Thank you. And Heather, you too. This was fun.
And thank you both again. And if you guys have enjoyed this conversation, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow as we get the opportunity to meet one more pair from the Amplify program as we finish highlighting this phenomenal opportunity for students and mentors alike. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for journeying with us today on Keiser Voices, the story of success. As we close this chapter, remember, every story has its next page.